Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Bilkis. In today's class we are going to be looking at letters for numbers, looking at addition and subtraction and operation. So the last class we treated expressing certain quantities or numbers as percentages of yet another number of quantities, So today this is what we are going to be focusing on. But before I proceed to today's class, I would like you to please subscribe if you are new here, if you haven't subscribed, and then to press on the like button and share this content to as many loved ones as possible, so that we can push this content to many people that need this content. All right, thank you. Now we want to look at letters for numbers. What does that mean? We want to see how we represent certain unknown values with letters, such that we'll be able to work with addition and subtraction operation. Now let's look at this first example. For instance, I have 3 plus dash equals to 5. Now in place of this dash, I can represent it with any letter that I so much desire. I can use x, for instance, meaning that I'm looking for the value of x. I don't know what x is going to be. Now 3 plus whatever value of x will give me what? 5. Hence I need to calculate or solve for the value of what? X. Do you understand? Now in solving for the value of x, anytime we have a problem like this that come with addition operator, it means that addition operator is going to change to what? Subtraction operation. Let me show you what I mean. Now I have 3 plus x equals to 5. How do I know the value or the number that this x is going to represent? So that means the first thing I get to do is to make sure that this addition operation changes to what? Subtraction. And this is what I mean. Now if my addition operation changes to subtraction, it then means that I'm going to work with these two numbers that I'm given. Hence my x, which I am looking for, will now going to be x equal to what? Now what is it going to be? Now when I say my addition operation is going to change to subtraction, now logically you should know that if I'm going to have a subtraction operation, it then means that I'm going to have a bigger or larger number on my left hand side and then a smaller number on my right hand side, so that it can be easy for subtraction. I mean, I cannot possibly say 3 minus 5, because it's going to give me a negative answer, and that's not what I need here. Do you understand? So if this addition is going to change to subtraction, it then follows logically that I should have a bigger number before the smaller number. Hence I will have 5 minus 3. After all, it is 5 and 3 that I have here that are numbers anyway. So meaning that my 5, ideally what this is supposed to be, let's just rearrange it so that you don't get confused. So this is x. I'll have 3 plus x equals to what? 5. So my x, which is here, will now be equal to this 5. Now don't get confused. You see this addition sign here is actually for x that is here. Do you understand? Now the fact that this one does not come with any operator here, it means that it is also what? Addition. If it's not going to be addition, then it will be otherwise stated that it is what? Subtraction. It will be indicated rather. So the fact that it doesn't come with any operator means that it is assumed to be what? Addition operator. All right. Now my x, which has this value of positive, will now be x equal to what? This 5. And so this my plus 3 that is here will move over to this equality sign. Why do I need to move this 3 over to this equality sign? It's the fact that this x is what I'm looking for. So the fact that I'm looking for this x alone, I need to make sure that I will make x the subject of the formula, such that only x will be on my left hand side and every other known numbers that are given will move to the right hand side. Does that make sense? All right. So my x that I'm looking for will be the only one on this side, equal to what? 5. Then this 3 crosses over to this equality sign, and by the time it crosses over equality sign, it changes to what? Subtraction. Hence I will have 5. This plus 3 is coming here to change to what? Minus 3. Does that make sense? All right. So my x will now further be what? 5 minus 3. That is what? 2. So our x is what? 2. And if you want to test to see if actually your x is 2, just simply put the value of x back into this place, meaning that your 3 plus 2 will surely give you what? 5. Does that resonate with you? All right. If it does, let's take another example. Now I have 8 minus dash. I could as well say this is what? P. You can use any letters that you're comfortable with to represent an unknown value. Do you understand? All right. I'm representing my unknown value here with what? Letter P. So that means I have 8 minus P equals to what? 2. Now don't forget, in the case of the first example, I told you that Don't forget, in the case of the first example, I told that if you are given addition plus something and you are looking for the unknown value here, by addition changes to what? Subtraction. But in this case, it's not like that. The subtraction still holds. Let's see what I mean. So I have 8 minus p equals to what? 2. Now you can see that the p here is attached with a what? An operator, which is what? A subtraction. Do you understand? So you want to bring out everything like that, meaning that your minus p. Now I didn't put this plus p here because I know in mathematics any letter or value that doesn't come with any operator is assumed to be positive. Hence I don't necessarily have to put it. But in the case of the subtraction, you have to put the subtraction or the subtraction operator beside the number at every point in time. Does that make sense? All right. So I have 8 minus p equals to 2, and then my p, which is this, my p will now be equal to this 2 that is there. So this 8 that is there is assumed to be what? Positive, although it is not written there. But for every number that is that any operator is not written there, just know that it is what? Positive. So my positive 8 here is now going to be what? Sorry, minus p equals to what? 2. This is positive, and this one will change to what? Minus 8. Because this positive 8 is crossing over this equality sign. This one, positive 8, is moving here. And then this positive 8 that is crossing over equality sign will change to what? Minus 2 as well. Does that make sense? Alright, so minus p is now equals to what? 2 minus 8. Now what is 2 minus 8? 2 minus 8 is minus 6. Why is it minus 6? This 2 means positive 2, and this is what? Minus 8. So ideally, for you to understand better, what it means is the fact that you are owing somebody 8 naira, but you have just 2 naira left with you. Do you understand? Now you pay the person that you're owing. Yeah, you want to pay the person that you're owing 8 naira, but unfortunately you have just 2 naira left with you. So the moment you give the 2 naira to that person that you're owing, that means you're still owing that person something. So what amount of money are you still owing the person? You are still owing the person what? 6 naira. That 6 naira you are owing the person is no more positive, it is negative. For as long as you're still owing, it's what? It is what? Negative. Does that resonate? All right. So this 2 minus 8 gives us what? Minus 6. Does that make sense? Now my p, no, so I did it because I have minus here and I have minus here, so both of them can actually cancel each other. They can actually negate each other. So this minus negates this minus. Well, what I have here now is what? P equals to what? 6. Does that make sense? So if p is equals to 6, you might want to test to see if actually p is actually 6 by putting the value of p equals to 6 back into this place. If this place is 6, it means that 8 minus 6 will definitely give us 2. That means we are on the right path. All right. Now let's take this third example also. I have 6 plus dash equals to what? 9. 6 plus, let me see, I can say this one is a. Do you understand? 6 plus a. There's actually no rule for using any particular letter. Just choose the one you're comfortable with, like I said earlier on. 6 plus a equals to what? 9. Do you get? Now this is what I'm looking for. Plus a is now what? A. Like I said, you don't have to write the plus here. As long as there's no number beside it, just write your a. It is believed and known and assumed to be what? Plus a. So I have plus a equals to this 9. Now this one too, that is what? Positive, moves over this equality sign, so that we are left with only a on this side. So that will now be what? Positive 6 moving over equality sign is going to change to minus 6, and that is what? Minus 6. And then my a equals to 9 minus 6 is what? 3. So you might want to test for that a equals to 3 also by putting the value of a equals to 3 into this place. So if you put 3 here, you have 6 plus 3, and that gives you what? 9. Now let's quickly take 3 more examples so that we can understand better. Now let's look at this example 4. I have 10 minus dash equals to 9. Like I said, you can represent this unknown value with any letter. So if I have 10, it means from here I have 10 minus b equals to what? 9. What am I looking for? I'm looking for the value of b, but I have to carry b along with its negative sign that it has here. So minus b will be equal to this 9, and then this 10 is positive 10, meaning that this positive 10 will go and meet the other number that is there, and by the time it moves, it changes the positive sign to negative sign, meaning that I'll have 9 minus 10. Is that clear? So here I have minus b equals 9 minus 10, like I said earlier on, is what? Is minus 1. Why is it minus 1? Because you are owing somebody 10 and you have just 9. By the time you pay the person you are owing 9, that means you are still owing that person 1 more, and that is what? Minus, because you are still owing. So that is minus 1. So here, this negative sign will negate each other, so you are left with what? The value of b to be what? 1. Now let's let's test to see if value of b is actually 1. If I put 1 here, 10 minus 1 is what? 9. Does that make sense? All right. Now let's look at this other example too. This could be y, and so it will be 7 plus y equals to 11. Now I'm just manufacturing all this letter so you can know the same too. We can't represent this unknown value with yet another number because you're going to be getting confusing. It's not even possible. You have to use a letter to represent it. All right. So 7 plus y equals to 11. So the y that we are looking for will be made the subject of the formula such that it will be on the left hand side. So I have y equals to this 11. And then this my positive 7 rather moves over equality sign, and then it changes to what? Minus 7. So my y is now going to be what? 4. Does that make sense? All right. So if my y is 4, put 4 here, and you can see that 7 plus 4 will give us what? 11. Now let's look at the last example. I have 12. This could be x as well. 12 minus x equals 8. So my minus x that I'm looking for will be minus x equals to 8. This is also positive 12, and then it moves over equality sign to change to minus 12. So this will be what? Minus 12. So my minus x equals 8 minus 12 is what? Minus 4. I hope at this junction you understand how to subtract a larger number from a smaller number. Basically what it will just do is the fact that, oh, I have just 8 pencils with me, and I need to give somebody, I'm owing somebody 8 pencils. Now the moment I give that person, I have 8 pencils with me rather, and this minus 12 is meaning that I am owing somebody 12 pencils. Now the moment I give that person 8 pencils out of what I have, that means I still have to pay the person 4 more pencils. That's why this one is minus 4. Does that make sense? All right, if it does. So I have minus x equals to minus 4, and then the negative sign what? We negate each other. This minus negates this one, so I'm left with what? X equals to what? 4. Now if you put the value of x equals to 4 back into this place, you will realize that you have 12 minus 4 will definitely give us what? 8. Now thank you so very much everybody for watching today's class. The next class promises to be more educating, and please do not forget to subscribe to this channel and hit the notification bell so that you'll be the first to get to know anytime I upload. Thank you, and I'll see you in the next class.